Have you ever felt it? That subtle chill in a warm room when someone pays you a compliment. The words are perfect, a textbook example of praise, but your instincts scream that something is profoundly wrong. It is the friend who offers advice that, if followed, would lead you directly into a pitfall. It is the colleague who smiles to your face but whose success seems to mysteriously coincide with your setbacks. You feel a ghost in the machine of human interaction, a hidden script being read from pages you are not allowed to see. You ask yourself, am I crazy? Am I just paranoid? But the feeling lingers, an unshakable premonition that you are a pawn in a game you do not even know you are playing. Today, we are going to arm you with the vision to see that hidden script. We will turn to the most notorious and misunderstood teacher of power the world has ever known, Niccolo Machiavelli. His name has become synonymous with cynical, cutthroat evil. But that is a profound misreading. What if I told you that Machiavelli, while ostensibly writing for rulers, in effect provided a field manual for the rest of us, a survival guide for navigating the treacherous terrain of human ambition? He gives you the tools not to become a manipulator, but to become immune to manipulation. And we will do this by unearthing the one brutal, foundational truth he dared to put on paper. A truth so potent it has been feared, censored, and deliberately hidden from you, because the moment you understand it, their games no longer work. You will learn to see not what people want you to see, but the raw, unfiltered machinery of their intentions. You will learn to see their motives. Why are we so blind? Why do we walk into the same traps, trust the same smiling assassins, and fall for the same hollow words, time and time again? The answer is as simple as it is devastating. You have been trained to be naive. From childhood, you are fed a diet of comforting lies. You are taught that people are fundamentally good, that intentions are pure, that words reflect reality, and that justice will naturally prevail. You are told to listen to what people say, not what they do. This worldview is not just incorrect. It is a psychological prison. It is a system designed to make you predictable, manageable, and ultimately exploitable. Machiavelli lived in a time of unprecedented chaos, of shifting alliances, betrayals, and brutal power grabs. He saw that the rulers and states who operated on the basis of how the world should be were inevitably crushed by those who operated on the basis of how the world is. This was his first and most important revolution, the absolute rejection of wishful thinking. He looked at humanity not through the lens of scripture or idealistic philosophy, but with the cold, unflinching gaze of a surgeon examining a diseased patient, and his diagnosis was terminal. The core of his philosophy, the secret that unlocks every other insight, is this: human beings are driven, first and foremost, by self-interest, not by morality, not by altruism, not by professed ideals, but by an insatiable appetite for more security, more glory, more wealth, more power. Their words, their promises, their displays of virtue, their public tears and theatrical outrage, these are not reflections of their soul. They are tools. They are instruments used to acquire what they desire from others. To Machiavelli, a person's proclaimed morality is the most dangerous mask of all, for it is the one we are most conditioned to trust. You suffer not because people are cruel, but because you expect them to be noble. You are wounded not because they are selfish, but because you believe their performance of selflessness. You are their victim only because you refuse to accept this one. Simple, foundational reality. Your hope is your sickness. Your optimism is your cage. Machiavelli's first gift to you is the bitter antidote: realism. The moment you stop judging people by the beautiful masks they wear and start judging them by the direction their feet are moving, the world's hidden architecture begins to reveal itself to you. It is not about becoming a cynic. It is about refusing to be a fool. And from this refusal, all power is born. Now that we have the foundational key, that self-interest is the engine and words are the fuel, we can begin to decode the specific strategies of deception. Machiavelli's second great revelation is that power operates in the realm of perception. Reality is secondary. What matters is what people believe to be true. Those who seek to influence you are not trying to change the world. They are trying to change your perception of it, and by extension, your perception of them. They are all actors on a grand stage, and their most vital task is to convince you that their performance is real. Have you ever met someone who is almost suffocatingly virtuous? They speak constantly of their integrity, their loyalty, their compassion. They are the first to condemn the moral failings of others, casting themselves as the righteous judge. Be very careful around these people. Machiavelli warned that the vulgar are always taken by what appears and by the outcome of a thing. The person who makes the loudest show of their virtue is often the one with the most to hide. Their performance of morality is not an expression of their character. It is a strategy. It is a carefully constructed shield to deflect scrutiny from their true actions. Think of the boss who talks endlessly about family and teamwork. He fosters an atmosphere of collaborative spirit, all while his decisions consistently centralize power and reward only those who display unquestioning personal loyalty to him. The language of we is a mask for the ambition of I. Think of the friend who positions themselves as your greatest supporter, the one who is always there to listen to your doubts and fears. They say, "I only want what is best for you." But have you ever noticed how their advice subtly steers you away from bold risks? How it gently encourages you to stay small, to remain within your comfort zone? Their performance is that of a caregiver, but their hidden motive, born of envy or a need for control, is to keep you from surpassing them. Their support is a beautifully decorated cage. To see the hidden motive, you must become a master at spotting the gap between the performance and the action. This requires a new kind of listening. You must listen to their words, but only as a clue to what they want you to believe. The real information, the truth, is found elsewhere. It is found in the small, unguarded moments. It is in who they promote, not who they praise. It is in where they invest their money, not where they donate publicly. It is in who benefits from the unfortunate accident or the miscommunication. The actor's greatest fear is an audience member who is watching their hands, not their mouth. Start watching their hands. Observe the flow of resources, the shifts in power, the subtle alliances formed in whispers after the meeting is over. Whose position is improved by this tragedy? Who gains from this selfless act? When you ask these questions, the stage lights dim and the backstage machinery becomes visible. You see that the hero is just an actor, the villain is just an actor, and you have been mistaking the play for reality. Your new clarity is not paranoia. It is the simple refusal to remain a passive member of the audience. It is the first step in learning to see. You are beginning to see the game. You understand that people are self-interested, that they hide their intentions behind a mask of virtue, but this knowledge alone is not enough. It can make you suspicious, but it does not make you effective. To truly become immune to manipulation, Machiavelli offers his most famous and potent allegory. You must become both the fox and the lion. This is the psychological model that changes everything, he wrote. Since a prince must know how to use the nature of the beast, he should choose from among the beasts the fox and the lion. For the lion cannot defend himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. Let us dissect this, for within it lies the secret to impenetrable personal sovereignty. The lion represents overt strength. It is power, intimidation, the ability to command respect and deter direct attacks. In the modern world, this is your competence, your resources, your reputation for excellence, your willingness to enforce boundaries directly and without apology. The lion frightens the wolves, the bullies, the overt aggressors, the people who try to run you over with brute force. Without the strength of the lion, you will be devoured by those who are more aggressive than you. But here is the crucial insight most people miss. The lion, for all its power, is simple-minded. It walks with its head held high, proud of its strength, and for that very reason, it is utterly blind to subtlety. The lion falls into traps. What are these traps? They are the hidden motives of others. The trap is the flattering compliment that lowers your guard. The trap is the appeal to your pity that tricks you into sacrificing your own interests. The trap is the cleverly worded agreement that contains a hidden loophole. The trap is the gossip whispered to you in confidence, designed to turn you against a true ally. The lion's roar is useless against these dangers. The lion is a sucker for a well-laid snare. This is where you must learn to be the fox. The fox is not strong, but it is cunning. It possesses a different kind of power, the power of perception. The fox's entire survival depends on its ability to recognize traps. It does not take the world at face value. It moves through the forest with its nose to the ground, sniffing out inconsistencies, questioning what seems too good to be true. The fox knows the scent of deceit. Becoming the fox is a conscious mental shift. It means you must actively fight your programming to be trusting and naive. When someone offers you something, you must train yourself to ask the silent question. And what do they get? When someone flatters you, you must ask, what does this flattery obligate me to do or feel? When someone confides a terrible secret about another person, you must ask, why are they telling me this? And why now? What action do they hope this information will provoke in me? This is not cynicism. It is a higher form of intelligence. The fox does not assume everyone is evil. It simply assumes everyone is strategic. It recognizes that every significant human interaction is a negotiation of interests, whether conscious or not. The fox is a master of reading the underlying currents of a situation. It understands that the person who controls the information, who frames the narrative, who knows the secrets, is the one who truly holds power, often far more than the roaring lion. You have been taught to be a lion, to be strong, direct, honest, but you were never taught to be a fox. And so, you have been strong, direct, honest, and consistently outmaneuvered. You have won the argument but lost the war. You have maintained your integrity but been pushed out of the company. You have been morally right but politically defeated. Why? Because the world is full of clever foxes who prey on naive lions. They know you will react with roaring anger, and they use that predictable reaction to lead you straight into the pit they dug for you. To cultivate your inner fox, you must practice emotional detachment. You cannot see a trap if you are consumed by rage, or desire, or ego. You must learn to observe a situation as a neutral third party, even when you are in the thick of it. You must study human nature, its vanities, its fears, its greed. As a scientist, studies an insect. You must read, watch, and listen, not for entertainment, but for data. Every movie, every news story, every office drama is a case study in human motives. Analyze it. What did they say? What did they do? What was the outcome? Who benefited? By embracing this dual nature, you become something new. You have the lion's strength to confront direct threats and the fox's cunning to perceive and evade hidden ones. You become untrappable. People will find that their usual games, their flattery, their guilt trips, their subtle manipulations simply do not work on you. They will feel an unnerving sense that you are seeing right through them, and this, more than any roar, will make them hesitate. This is the beginning of true power, the power that comes not from dominating others, but from making yourself impossible to dominate. At this point, a fear may arise within you. If I adopt this mindset, will I become cold, paranoid, and monstrous like the people Machiavelli describes? This is the final layer of social conditioning you must break through. The fear of seeing clearly is the last chain that keeps you bound to the manipulators. They want you to think that realism is the same as cruelty, because your naivete is their primary weapon. This is the great rebellion. It is the act of choosing to see the world as it is, without becoming a part of its ugliness. Machiavelli's wisdom is not a prescription for your behavior. It is a description of their behavior. You learn the ways of the poisoner not to poison others, but to recognize poison when it is offered to you. You are not becoming the monster. You are learning to see the monster. And in that act of seeing, you strip it of its power. Its greatest advantage is your ignorance. How do you put this into practice? You begin a silent, internal revolution. You stop listening to words and start watching actions with the dispassionate focus of a hawk. Actions are the only reliable currency of intention. A person's true beliefs are not what they say in a speech. They are what is revealed in their budget. A company's true values are not in its mission statement. They are in who gets promoted. A friend's true loyalty is not in their comforting words. It is in their presence when offering those words costs them something. You must become an archivist of human behavior. When someone makes a promise, write it down, mentally or physically, then observe. Did their actions align with that promise? If not, do not confront them with roaring anger like a lion. That only teaches them to be a better liar. Simply update your internal ledger on that person. You have gathered a crucial piece of data. They are not reliable. Their words are air. This knowledge is your shield. You will no longer build any plans that rely on their promises. You have neutralized their ability to disappoint or betray you in the future, all without a single confrontation. This is the quiet, invisible power of the fox. Furthermore, you must reclaim your emotional autonomy. Manipulators thrive on provoking predictable emotional responses. They know that if they insult your intelligence, your ego will flare up and you will waste energy defending it. They know that if they play the victim, your compassion will be triggered and you will rush to their aid. They are playing your emotions like a piano. The rebellion is to refuse to play the song. When you feel a strong emotion rising in response to someone's actions, anger, guilt, pity, even intense flattery, let that be your alarm bell. A fox is at work. Do not act. Do not respond. Step back internally and ask, what is the desired outcome of the person provoking this feeling in me? If I act on this emotion, who ultimately benefits? This moment of pause is everything. It is the space between stimulus and response where your freedom lies. In that space, you can choose to observe the game rather than be a piece in it. You can see the puppet strings instead of just dancing when they are pulled. This journey will feel lonely at first. When you stop playing the expected social games, people will call you cold, distant, or strange. The friend who relied on your predictable sympathy will feel frustrated when you offer detached observation instead of emotional rescue. The boss who used flattery to extract extra work will be confused when you accept the compliment graciously but do not volunteer for the weekend shift. You are disrupting their world because you are refusing to be a predictable tool. Their discomfort is a sign of your liberation. You are no longer living in their script. You are beginning to write your own. We have journeyed into the dark heart of Machiavelli's realism. We have learned that people are driven by self-interest, that they construct elaborate performances to mask their motives, and that we must become both lion and fox to navigate this treacherous world. But what is the final destination of this journey? Is it a lonely fortress of suspicion, a life devoid of trust and connection? No. That is the final, most profound misunderstanding. The ultimate purpose of seeing the hidden motives in everyone is not to protect yourself from them, but to finally understand yourself. As you become a master observer of the games of power, manipulation, and vanity in others, an unavoidable and uncomfortable truth will dawn on you. You are not just an observer, you are a participant. You will begin to see the subtle ways in which you use these very same tactics. You will see the white lies you tell to avoid conflict. You will see the way you subtly manage the perceptions of others to make yourself look better. You will recognize your own hunger for approval, your own flashes of envy, your own carefully curated masks. This is the moment Machiavelli's mirror turns from the world and reflects back upon you. And this is where his true, hidden gift is found. He is not teaching you to be a better predator. He is forcing you to confront the predator within. Carl Jung would call this integrating the shadow. It is the process of owning the darker, more strategic, more self-interested parts of your own nature, not so you can unleash them, but so you can control them. The person who pretends they have no shadow, no selfishness, no capacity for deceit, is the most dangerous of all, for their darkness operates unconsciously. They are the ones who cause the most harm with the best of intentions. But by studying the raw, unfiltered reality of human nature, you are forced to be honest with yourself. You can no longer pretend to be purely good because you know the strategic value of appearing that way. And from this radical self-awareness, a new kind of freedom is born. It is the freedom to choose. When you are aware of your own capacity for manipulation, you can consciously choose integrity. When you understand the intoxicating pull of power, you can deliberately choose service. You are no longer acting out a script of conditioned goodness. You are making an authentic, moment-to-moment choice to be the person you want to be, fully aware of the temptations to be otherwise. Nothing and nobody will ever hurt you again in the same way, not because you are calloused, but because you are complete. The words of others lose their sting when you have faced the very same thoughts within yourself. Betrayal loses its power to shatter you when you understand the calculus of self-interest that drives it. You move from being a reactive victim of the world to a conscious creator of your own inner world. You may still feel sadness or disappointment, but it will no longer dismantle you, for you see the machinery behind it. You understand the game, and that understanding is your armor, your shield, and your liberation. If this journey into the mind of Machiavelli has struck a chord, if you feel a part of you awakening to a reality you have always suspected but never dared to name, then your rebellion has already begun. Acknowledge it. Write in the comments below, "I choose to see." Let us form a community of those who are no longer content to live in the comfortable darkness of illusion, but who are brave enough to face the glaring, terrifying, and ultimately freeing light of reality. Your vision is your power. It is time to open your eyes.